Hello everyone, it is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up-and-coming queen of real estate, and I'm here for another episode of Tuesday Tip at 2. Hey, hello everybody. Hello, it is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, queen of real estate and social media extraordinaire. And I'm here for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. Let's first talk about what I'm going to talk about, which is racism, discrimination in real estate. What? Realtors being discriminatory? What? We're going to talk about it. All right. We're going to talk about it today and why that is a big no-no. And if you have experienced that, you do have rights. First, hey, new subscribers. How y'all doing? I always acknowledge my new subscribers. Hey, current subscribers, the ones who have been here. Listen, make sure you push the all notifications button. Okay, push that bell and make sure you get all notifications because, as I always say, I post funny stuff, all real estate related for the most part, but funny stuff as well as informative things for you to know. All right. You need to get in touch with me. If you're in the PA area, if you're in Pennsylvania, if you're in Philly and surrounding suburbs, get in touch with me like yesterday. You need to go to book.djmrealty.co. Again, that's book.djmrealty.co.com and schedule your seller consultation, your buyer consultation, and we can get you started. All right. Another thing that I'm doing, as I said at the top of this, social media extraordinaire. If you like what you see, if you like my graphics, if you like the videos, if you like what I'm doing, I'm teaching a class. All right. I'm teaching a class on social media. So I need you guys to sign up. Okay. Go ahead, sign up, register. It's only $25. But if you like what I'm doing, not only do you like my informative videos, but you like how they look. And maybe no matter what you are, whether you're a realtor, whether you work in real estate or not, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an author, a coach, whatever you are, and you need help, breaking ground, right? Breaking ground into social media, what you need to do. I'm here to help. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into this subject. Listen, I come across articles all the time, videos, articles all the time, where there are discriminatory practices happening all across the country as it pertains to real estate. And it's very unfortunate because, when I took and continue to take training, we take, of course, there's training that we have to take to become real estate agents. In order to become a realtor, you have to sign up for the National Association for Realtors. And that is national, it is state, it is local to your county. And you're a part of that. And they are absolutely, sticklers for making sure that realtors are held at a higher standard and being compliant. Okay. So when you hear a lot of news articles, videos, and things of that nature where practices are still happening, where people are being discriminatory, it's very unsettling, right? Especially being Black myself, being African American woman, I find it disheartening because I got into this business to help people to fulfill their dreams, fulfill their goals of becoming homeowners, whether they're getting out of the current area that they're in for somewhere better for their children, for safety reasons, for themselves, for school. And that's very important to me. So I certainly do not like when I see stories like this, but I'm here to shed light on the fact that this happens a lot more than what we think, right? First, I want to open up with this, this cheeky skit from a very old show from back in the day.
At all. Bye now. Hello there, I'm Sheila Pease.
Hi. Hey, this place isn't that bad. Have you read it yet?
Why, no, we haven't. Please feel free to take a look around. First, I will mention that there's an application and you'll be required to list your employer.
That's no problem. I have a job.
Well, of course you do. Now, what team do you play for?
I'm a doctor.
You're not Dr. J, are you? I've heard you're quite talented.
Lady, I'm a medical doctor.
Well, good for you. Now, you must have studied very hard. Let me tell you a little bit about the apartment, Jelly. Firstly, this locale is ideal for you. There is a Golden Bird fried chicken right down on the corner. And you know something? There is a crack house over on 7th. I tell you, people are getting beat up and shot there all the time. What with you being a doctor and all, your business could be booming. Of course, they can't guarantee that the corner store would carry that Afro Sheen activist stuff. They're Mexican, you know. They have plenty of those tortillas, and the rest of us just have to make do.
Lady, I'm gonna have a look around by myself.
Oh, please do. You know, there is plenty you can do with this space. You can put your big stereo there in the corner and play that rap music just as loud as you like. Listen to me. You go ahead and look all you want.
Are you still showing the apartment?
We certainly are. Hello, how are you? I'm Sheila Peace. I must say, you speak English very well. Please feel free to have a look around.
Hey, this isn't bad, honey.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I like the neighborhood. Well, let me just say this about that. This neighborhood is conveniently close to everything you need. Why Chinatown is just 10 blocks away. That was a good movie, wasn't it, Chinatown? Of course, there weren't a lot of Chinese people in it. That must have chapped your hide. Of course, now you people are buying up Hollywood. You'll show them, huh?
Hey, we're Korean.
Oh, well, then this apartment is just perfect for you. Here you are on the first floor. You won't disturb anyone down below with that karate stuff. And there's a photomat right across the street. You know, we are one of the few buildings in the area that features speed bumps in the parking garage. Can I get you an application?
No, I think we're looking for something a little bigger.
Oh, well, of course you are. What with that whole boat people situation? Well, the thought of that brings tears to my eyes. I'm sure you guys have relatives coming in all the time. What do you?
So that's just a snippet. And so, of course, they're making it cheeky. It's from 11 Color, an amazing show from back in the day. But it comes from, you know, most comedy comes is, you know, art imitating life, right? And it's a real thing that happens, and you would think that it's not as overt and in your face, but it absolutely can be and is. And so we're going to talk about why that is a huge no. In that example, the realtor wasn't necessarily discriminating against them from being able to rent the property. But however, there were some very alarming ways she was engaging with the potential tenants, right? So first we're starting with the Fair Housing Act. What is that? What is that? Well, it's a very important act that was founded. So I'm not going into all the details and specifics of everything, but it was founded because redlining is real. Redlining was real for a healthy amount of years. Steering was real for a healthy amount of years. Real estate was very much a part of the systemic racism in our country. And so there were lenders and realtors who would not sell to certain people in certain areas and all that good stuff. Or even if they would sell to them, the interest rates were ridiculously higher. The homes were ridiculously higher. So one of the things that was implemented was the Fair Housing Act, right? So you cannot discriminate based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, including children under the age of 18 living with parents, pregnant women, people securing custody of children under 18, or disability. Right. What's prohibited? What does that mean, right? In the sale of renting of housing, no one may take any of the following actions based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. Refuse to rent or sell a house. Okay. Refuse to negotiate for housing, making housing unavailable, otherwise deny a dwelling, set different terms, conditions, or privileges for the sale of a rental or of a dwelling, provide different housing services or facilities, falsely deny that housing is available for inspection, sale, or rental. So for example, if you call me up, you see my listing, right? You see my listing, and you're like, hey, I saw your listing on such and such, and whether I see you in person or I just perceive by hearing you on the phone that you're of a particular race or something like that. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. We're under contract, and that's not the truth. Or no, we're taking it off the market. It's a mistake. I'm about to pull it from the market today, right? You can't do that. You cannot do that. If I go on a listing appointment and that seller is like, hey, I want to sell my house, but just to let you know, I'm not selling to a Korean family, right? I'm not selling to a particular set group family. That's a problem. And I cannot be in agreement with that particular seller. If that's the case, I have to tell them flat out, whoever gives us a good offer, doesn't matter. It does not matter. Whoever offer makes the most sense, their term makes the most sense. That's what's important. And so, unfortunately, you do come across, situations where you have to let people know that, hey, I can't partner with that. Me as a realtor, I can't partner with that. Number one, morally, just for me personally, but also ethically, also legally, I cannot partner with that. Another thing that I often have to let my clients know, one of the things that is talked about is steering and even blockbusting, right? Blockbusting is when an agent convinces people in a neighborhood to sell their home because the social economics of the community negatively changing, right? So if I go to, let's say, an impoverished neighborhood and I'm like, you have to get out of there because it's not safe, and, you'll die, crime is up, and a lot of major centers, major cities, crime is up, right? And if I'm out here, trying to scare people to list their homes, that's a big no-no. Another thing is steering. Okay. Like I said earlier, steering is the practice of influencing a buyer's choice of communities based on one of the protected characteristics under the Fair Housing Act. Okay. Even when it comes to, this is one of the things that we learn as being a realtor in our continued education. Like if somebody asks me, oh, is this a good neighborhood? I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. What I can do is, hey, I'm going to send you based on your criteria or what you're looking for and based on what you told me in a house or in an area, because I know the area very well. I'm going to send you what you're looking for. That's about it. I can't say, oh, area is good, area is bad. You have to do your due diligence, right? Because that can be up for interpretation. I could be potentially excluding you from an opportunity because based on my opinion and not based on the facts that you have looked into yourself. We have also redlining, which I'm going to talk more about when I do a part 2 of this as it pertains to lending. But redlining is a practice of denying a creditworthy applicant for housing a certain neighborhood, even though the applicant may otherwise be eligible for the loan. In real estate, redlining as a realtor could be, again, I'm only going to show you these particular areas, even though I may know that certain areas meet your criteria and are in your budget. I'm going to say I'm withholding, access to those particular areas, if that makes sense, right? And just as it was stated in this, area here, when you deny people access to, it is a form of redlining. It's like, hey, I know that this is available, but no, you're not going to go over there because I don't want you over there, right? So as a realtor, it's always important. I always tell my clients, do your due diligence, research areas, research neighborhoods, walk around, see the perimeter, all that good stuff. Go walk the block, Google, do the street view, all of these things, because you have to know what you're getting into. And I can only say but so much, right? Here is a recent article in the news in regards to California realtors apologize for role in racist housing. And you can likely find this yourself, but this is as of last month. Last month. And today we're in November, almost Thanksgiving. Yay. But this was last month. So when we say, racism, this stuff isn't happening anymore, it's absolutely happening. This is one article here where the National Association of Realtors, talks about how sorry they are in aiding in discrimination or, realtors who have discriminated against people of color and of all races, ethnicities, origins, and things like that. And so even within real estate as a profession, I'm a minority, but this article goes to express how there are more and more minorities who are taking leadership roles, even in the Realtor Association. It's needed because then that is leveling the playing field, making real estate accessible to any and all, right? When all people are represented. In this portion, if you think your rights have been violated, contact HUD. You can also contact the National National Association of Realtors. You can contact them as well. You can contact the broker of the realtor that you feel like discriminated against you. There is recompense. Most times, to be honest, people will just get a fine, a hefty fine. Some people can absolutely lose their license, real estate license. Some people will have their license suspended. Some people can lose it forever, depending on how egregious the act was. So there is definitely, penalties for cooperating in discriminatory acts. All right, everybody. So that was it. I know I've talked about something a little bit heavy today, but it needs to be talked about because, again, it's happening. It's happening. It's something that we can't take lightly. It is, again, a slight. It's one of the things that, it's bad enough that a lot of people have their opinions about realtors, similar to lawyers at times. It can be rather harsh, what people feel about realtors and their motives and things like that. But I personally am one who got into this really to help people. I understand what it is to desire to own something, to desire to want better for your family, to desire to have access to something that your family never even thought you could have access to. There are many people I know of color whose family never owned anything or had been many generations since their family has. And so to be able to bring that to families is important to me. To be able to do that for families is important to me. To be able to help investors, create that generational wealth is important to me. So yes, there are people who get into and have some bad practices as realtors, but that's when hopefully you find your person that, they're trying to get their paycheck because it is a job, it is a career, but the heart speaks more, right? The heart speaks more. At the end of the day, that person cares about your well-being, what you're doing, and realizes that, hey, this is probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make, and how important it is to you. And even as it pertains to sellers, it's hard to sell sometimes, you're selling your family home, but choose a person that understands you, that gets you, and that's not just in it for a check. We all got to get paid though. But it's not just about that. It's absolutely one of the reasons why I do this. Tuesday Tips at 2, because I want to educate people. As of right now, I do not make any money from these videos, but at some point maybe. But my whole motivation was to educate people, to help people to understand real estate a lot better, and not make it feel as scary or complicated as it can seem and feel. That's all for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. Okay, listen, go to book.djmrealtyco.com. Again, book.djmrealtyco.com and schedule a buyer or seller consultation. We can get you on the road to home ownership or selling your home. Hey, remember, there's no place like home, no place like home buying. And I will see you next week. And we're going to do a part 2 of this, and we're going to talk about the lending side.